I'm here with Julian Phillips from AVI SPL. First of all, Julian, I guess congratulations are in order. Winners last night of the Innovation Award for the Best Visitor Attraction in a hugely competitive category for the incredible museum in the future. And does that project tell us something about AVI SPL's approach to experiences and maybe where that whole market is going?
Well, thank you, Paul, and yes, we are truly excited to have won that award. I think there were more entrants than any other category.
Yeah, it's always a toughie to win that.
Yeah, so to win that was amazing. I think it's fair to say that if you ask somebody maybe 2 or 3 years ago, would AVI SPL be involved in a project like that? And they say, no, they do conference rooms and they're very good at it. But actually, we've been doing this kind of work for many years, but we haven't necessarily had a very tight focus on it. And now through the creation of XTG, the Experience Technology Group, we now have a whole specialist business unit that works globally addressing those kind of market opportunities. And there's a very good reason why that is because we actually see that experience and the experience that human beings have is now the center of the design process. And I think traditionally in the AV industry, if you remember, we used to design AV technology around the building and how the AV technology would fit into the building, because the building was the thing that was designed first and the technology came second. And obviously we're in the unified communication zone right now, and in the last 5 or 6 years, we've seen the rise of the platform, whether it be Cisco or Microsoft or Google or Zoom. And for a while, people became very platform-centric and said, you have to develop everything around Teams or Google. I think there's a change, and we see that right now, and that is human-centered design, which is we need to design around the human beings and their experience. And so we're focused on that in 2 ways. Number one, consumer experiences like Museum of the Future, and how we can actually transform that experience. But we're finding now that organizations, as they're trying to get people back into the workplace and trying to actually retain and develop talent, is they actually want to bring a lot of those techniques from the consumer world into the workplace as they're designing for the future of work. So it's a huge opportunity, and I think you're seeing it on the show floor right now. So many people talking about that.
It's really interesting to hear you say. I've never really heard anyone make a sort of correlation between the kind of corporate theologies and kind of stuff for visitor attraction. It all seem to be two completely different worlds, but I guess you're right. It's if you base it on people and the people experience, then you can use this kind of similar thinking behind it.
Well, if you speak to the CEO of any organization in the world right now and you actually ask them, what is your biggest problem? And they will say, it is how we engage our employees and connect our brand and our mission and our purpose to our employees and our customers. And it's not supply chain. They're dealing with supply chain, they're dealing with costs, they're doing those things. But strategically, that's one of the biggest challenges. And if you're going to do that, you have to say, if that is the case, the connection of brand and purpose to our people, we need to be human-centered and we need to design for experiences, because that's how you achieve that.
Sure. Can it be difficult in these kind of grand-scale projects to kind of almost temper the ambition, which sometimes can be huge, with, like you said, the feeling of making a connection with the people inside the building? Can that be a difficult balance to strike? Because I know sometimes, especially in the Middle East, some of these projects can be almost kind of fantastical in reach.
Well, let's talk about a fantastical project right now. So NEOM, a lot of people are talking about NEOM in Saudi Arabia, and a lot of people, because it is so fantastic, they don't actually believe it exists. Seriously, they don't. Yeah. I've just spent time with our friends at NEOM and our creative design partners who are actually based here in Barcelona, B Republic, and it's real. The foundations are being dug and concrete is being poured. And so I think in many ways, there's a lot of people who are choosing not to believe that these really fantastical and creative projects are, because to an extent, it's almost like, well, we're not doing it, and therefore if they're doing it, maybe, all the rest of it. But I think this is a time for people to be very creative and to be brave and courageous and to do new things. And we're seeing so many opportunities in so many ways to unleash the potential of what people can achieve and how we can connect human beings and that experience to brand and all that kind of stuff. And so it's happening in so many different markets. And that's why I believe the show here at ISE is so busy right now, because people are believing that this industry is the industry that connects all those things together. And I think there's a new horizon of opportunity for everyone in the AV industry right now, if you go looking for it and you're courageous enough to grab hold of it.
Julian, we're talking about experiences, and often when we do that, we mean these kind of really kind of attractive, beautiful kind of visitor attractions. But you want to talk about kind of experiences in the corporate market, which is not something we really hear people talk about. So maybe you could expand on that slightly.
Yeah, if you go around the show floor, pretty much everywhere, you're going to see a lot of extended reality and extended reality stages. A lot of those are applications more for that consumer application. In other words, it's broadcast production or it's events. But actually, working with our partners at Purple, we actually have a corporate application using XR, and we're seeing a huge demand now for enterprises to start using this extended reality technology, to start communicating with their customers and bringing them into innovation centers and storytelling, but also how now they engage their employees and connect their purpose and brand to their employee messaging and communications. So another new horizon for us in the AV industry is extended reality, but in an enterprise setting, not just in events and visitor attractions.
Fantastic. Julian, I think that's a wonderful message to end on. Many thanks for your time as always.
As always, Paul. Cheers.